Here's the question of the week. What can you tell about somebody by looking at their hands? I mean, I guess we could tell someone's level of personal hygiene. Do they cut their nails? Are they dirty? Do they use lotion? I mean, when I used to work on cars, I had grease stained fingers all the time. No matter what color of nail polish I had of the week, you could still tell that I had been messing with some grease. So I guess you could tell a little bit of something about someone. I think personally, just their personal hygiene, which is very important. However, I did not know, but in 1889, a expert of astounding facts and useful information, his name was Barkham Burroughs. He said we could tell a lot more about people's hands than their personal hygiene. Actually, you could tell someone's character, their personality, whether they had integrity, whether they were healthy, um, whether they loved peace or war. Apparently, you could tell all of that by looking at someone's fingernail colors. Hey, this is Sarah, and you're listening to another episode on Ladies First, Not Really. Perhaps the timeless saying, "I'm an excellent judge of character," was because those in 1889 knew this secret, and it made them experts. Perhaps we educated women of the 21st century have been looking at things all wrong and have something to learn from our 19th century sisters. I mean, I guess you would have to look at someone's actual nail colors, so you would have to not have been to the nail salon for a while. But looking at one's true character is not looking at them by their actions, according to Barkham Burroughs. It is their nail color. Instead of looking at their person's actions as a measurement to their character and their personality, we should have just been staring at their hands. Who knew? Good thing we now know this. It's a fail-proof test, or we would have possibly continued down the erroneous path of judging one by their actions and ignored their manicures. Good thing we caught this early. So how do you know? What does it mean? I have this information because I'm now an expert because I read this story. Apparently, a white mark on someone's true fingernails, we're not talking about whether they have a French manicure or if they like dark colors or light colors or neon colors or nude colors. It is your true nail. So, not much you can do about that, but because of that, it is a true indicator of your personality and your character. So, here we go. A white mark indicates misfortune. So, if you have a white mark on your nail, you must be going through some hard times. If the nail is pale or the color of lead, that individual is melancholy. Okay. Those with broader nails are timid and shy. So for women who really wish they had slender fingers, you're timid and shy. That's why. Round nails indicate seekers of knowledge and understanding, and they lean more towards the liberal sentiments because round nails are very progressive and also considered of movement. I don't know. Okay, those with narrow nails are generally more ambitious and like to quarrel. Okay, so if you get them filed narrowly, it means you like to quarrel. I wonder if that's where the whole like cat nails, chicks fighting type of thing came up. Maybe their nails were so narrow that they were more like daggers. And so they like to scratch each other's eyes out. Maybe that's where that came from. Those with small nails have littleness of mind. So I'm sorry. If you have small nails, naturally, it is because you have a little mind. Nothing you can do about it. If the nails are incredibly pale, then that individual is sick often and persecuted by neighbors and friends. So, back in the day of the 19th century, when the medical experts believed that everything about the female constitution, as it was called, everything about being a woman was completely driven by your emotional state. Truly, you could have had an ovarian cyst. It didn't matter. It was because you were jealous and it consumed you, or it was because you were so nervous about making your husband happy that it caused you to have this ovarian cyst. So, if your nails are incredibly pale, then you are sick often, probably from nervousness. And so, because of that, you are persecuted by your neighbors and friends because you're probably a hot mess. So, you should probably work on fixing that. If you have ingrown nails, then you are a lover of the luxurious lifestyle. So, for every person who goes to the podiatrist to get an ingrown toenail pulled out, the real cause is because you love a luxurious lifestyle. And because you're too luxurious, your nails just don't know which way to grow. Okay, this one is the most important. Ladies, beware of men with red spotted nails. Even the most handsome gentleman that tries to woo you must be resisted. Yes, even if he is tall, dark, handsome, and respects your decision not to show your ankles, you must resist because a suitor with red spotted nails most certainly is choleric and is a man delighting in war. His acceptance of your no ankle policy doesn't seem so debonair now, huh? Gotta watch out for that guy. 1, you don't need a choleric sick husband. And 2, you don't need one delighting in war. He'll probably be gone all the time. And you'll have to worry about him with I don't know, the women on the battlefields in their wonderful heroine attire. Very risque. Now, I'm sure you are so relieved to know this information. Now, try not hard not to stare at everyone's hands going forward. It will make those uncomfortable, and you don't want to be the reason they end up with incredibly pale nails brought on by your persecution. But if you have been like other women who feel the shame of persecuting your friends and neighbors because of their nail color or the paleness of their nail color, you'll need to find a way to be able to sleep. You don't want to lose sleep over the shame persecuting your friends and neighbors or losing sleep over what color your nail will be today. Now, according to a physician, German physician, in 1894, women require more sleep than men. The reason for this is the female constitution, as I mentioned earlier. Everything about being a female induces nervous excitability that is on a greater scale than the stronger sex, of course, men. Yeah, it's hard being a female. So much nervousness. Anywho, the level of nervous excitability causes women to be light sleepers. And no, snoring spouses and 2-hour infant feedings were not considered in the study. So the results in women becoming addicted to dreaming. Your vivid dreams of marriage, charity work, and chaise lounge lane, I mean, what more is there for a girl to dream about, leave such an impression that you'll feel tired in the mornings. Now, before we go any further, it's ironic that how women sleep was a topic of study that these male physicians felt the need to insert or inject their expertise. I mean, do you ever think about how women sleep? No. We're trying to figure out how to just get more sleep, not pondering, I wonder how I sleep. Like, that's ridiculous. But in 1894, apparently, it was a very interesting topic, and people were needing to know about it. So now you know the secret to this burning question, the burning question of 1894. How do women sleep? The fact that we are females are not as strong as the men is the culprit. We have too much nervous excitability. If you thought it was because women were bored out of their minds in the 19th century due to not being allowed an education, hold positions, and use their mind to think about anything other than getting married, you were wrong. That is not it at all. Yes, I'm finding it hard to contain my excitement to now know I can't sleep because I'm a female and nervous because I'm a female. So hopefully this changed your life and you will now look at your sleep patterns a little deeper. You'll know that because you're a female, you have higher nervous excitability because being a female requires more sleep in general. But also, vivid dreams can leave such an impression on us that we'll feel tired in the morning, and we don't want to become addicted to dreaming. So if you find yourself standing in the middle of stirring dinner, staring out the window, daydreaming, snap yourself right out of it because you don't want to become addicted to dreaming. You want to make sure that you get more sleep at night and not have these very vivid dreams of, I don't know, walking on the beach with a Mai Tai or being at home with no noise surrounding you. Wherever you are, whatever your dreams are, make sure you're not addicted to them. And make sure you get more sleep and don't become too nervous. Thanks for joining. Till next time. For more information, visit my blog at rebelliouscorsets.com.